Welcome back. Before the break, I did a roundup of this evening's news and social media. This evening's focus is on the land occupation in Khayelitsha, and joining me for this discussion is Anda Nsodo, Mako member for the area. Welcome, Anda, and thank you for joining us.
Hi.
Hi. So to introduce this topic, we've put a few facts together about the land occupation. The land occupations began on the 15th of May 2017. They took place near the Magistrate's Court in Khayelitsha, and that land is privately owned. The occupiers are backyarders from town too, and 6 people involved in land occupation were arrested so far. The 6 are set to appear in court again on the 14th of August. Mthunzi Zuma, one of the movement's leaders, was shot recently, and Pilela Gilwa was murdered on Friday the 15th of July. We received a statement from Sergeant Khayelitsha Magistrate of the SAPS. In an emailed statement, she said, "The circumstances surrounding the murder of a 26-year-old man were under investigation." She said that according to reports, on the 15th of July this year at 8 p.m, the victim was transported to the hospital with a stab wound to his body. He subsequently died as a result of his injuries. No one has been arrested at this stage, but anyone with information can assist with the investigation. Is requested to contact Crime Stop on 08600 10111. Now, Anda, can you give us some more background around the situation and what is happening right now?
Yeah, at this point in time, the land in question is about to be developed by Khayelitsha Community Trust. It's a private land. It's a land with serviced plots and the roads on top. So it is ready for building the houses. So it doesn't make sense that people decided to go and invade that piece of land.
Yes.
Yes, because it's land ready for development.
Yes. So it's ready for development. The backyarders who have taken occupation, they're saying that it's just been coming on too long and that they are not ready to wait any longer. What is the city's take on that?
Well, the city is very clear. There are systems in place for people who want to get housing, and they must follow due process. There is no way that people can just wake up one day and say we are going to grab the land. It's illegal. It's a criminal act. It cannot be allowed.
Okay, so that's understood. It's criminal. They cannot just occupy the land. But what is the process for housing that is frustrating people so much? Why is it taking so long?
There are 2 things that are creating this problem. One, the number of people who are relocating to the Western Cape is happening faster than the service delivery in terms of delivering housing. So that's a bit of a problem. And also the second one is the budget. The Western Cape Provincial Government have a budget of 2.5 million rand and can only build 18,000 houses, whereas the people who are in the waiting list are more than 500,000. So those are the 2 main problems.
Okay. And just in terms of invasion, we want to ask, can this be called land invasion if the land is vacant? What are the technicalities around that? It's
obvious. The land is either belonging to the government or belonging to a private individual. There is no land out there that is just open for occupation. All Cape Town, all around, every single piece of land is either it belongs to the city of Cape Town, provincial government, national government, or to private individuals. And also you cannot just go and invade a piece of land. You have to follow a due process. You go to the local offices, find out who's the owner of the land, and then you may bargain with that owner. If it is the city, there are also processes to be followed.
So tell us a bit more about that process. So you've said that the land is earmarked to be developed.
Yes.
And there's obviously a process for developing formal housing. But is there a process for setting up informal housing or informal settlement?
There's no such thing in South Africa such as a process of setting up informal housing.
Okay.
It's illegal.
Okay. And does the city have any plan? So what are the next steps now with regard to these occupations that now exist?
Unfortunately, the issue of occupations is that there are individuals behind it who want to score cheap political points, making the city of Cape Town a protest hotspot. So they will incite people to do something illegal, because everyone knows in South Africa you cannot just go and invade land. As we have seen in this case, after people have invaded land, after a couple of weeks, then politicians started to back those people. So it's just a cheap political tactic that I discourage and condemn. At this point in time, I expect people from all political parties and even community organizations and society at large to become law-abiding citizens. For us to get this country going and moving forward, even solving that problem of housing, we have to be law-abiding citizens. We cannot allow anything in the form of like illegal protests and so on. Even if you are going to conduct a march these days, you have to apply and get a permission. So people, I encourage them to refrain from following people who are inciting them to do land invasions.
Okay, so can you tell me a bit more about the city's engagement process, though? Because it also seems like, so there are these frustrations. Obviously, the housing process is taking very long. And as you said, there are lots of factors to it. What are people supposed to do in the meantime? And how do they engage with government then to move the process forward and to deal with their frustrations?
Well, not everyone who stays in the informal settlements, or not everyone who is a backyarder, will at the end qualify for a house. How the process works, it's there are 2 points of entry. You can do it electronically via city website, or directly visit the offices of the City of Cape Town, where you will meet officials who will assist you to fill in forms so that your name is in the housing database. Okay, and then once in the area where you live, there is a housing development coming, there will be an invitation extended to people who are in the housing database, especially those people who have been there for very, very long time.
Yes.
So to take this process forward, what happens is people will be called in.
Sorry, we just have to wrap quickly to go to an ad break.
Okay.
But when we come back, we'll hear some more.
All right, sure.
Thank you.
Hello, ma'am. My name is Nditini Tido. I am the chairperson of the Khayelitsha Development Forum. Our opinion or our reaction to land illegal occupation in Khayelitsha is that the KDF does not support land invasion. But the Khayelitsha Development Forum fully supports the settlement of backyard dwellers in Khayelitsha. Now, the difference here is that the KDF as an organization understands the needs for the people who live in backyards to be settled, to have decent housing of their own, even if it's rented stock. But at the same time, the KDF also understands other developmental needs, which also includes development of other public amenities in the same area of Khayelitsha, which will add value to all people's lives, including that of the backyarders. So on those bases, we really do not support illegal occupation of pieces of land, but we really do support 100% the struggle for backyarders. We have spoken to the City of Cape Town through the office of Councillor Zensia Limbeck in trying to understand what are the City of Cape Town's immediate plans for the backyarders. And we've seen and we've noticed on the city's budget that there is a budget line on the city's budget, overall budget, on backyarding. But what we were discussing with the councillor was the specifics. What are the specific programs they have or program they have for settling backyarders. Now, what we were discussing, we were still in discussion with them. We were hoping for the councillor to get back to us. But the problem, or the other problem is that we have, is the struggle itself seems to be led by different many other people. So that creates a problem, because sometimes when you want to be consistent and consistently engage with the backyarders, you find different people claiming to all be leading the same struggle. And sometimes, because it's a mass action, sometimes it gets hijacked by criminal elements, by people who have no desire to be settled or have no desire to have anything as an outcome. And other than that, getting the quick win, the spin-offs of being in a mass action through violence and theft, banning of things and all of that, which now dampens or blackens the genuine struggle of backyard dwellers.
That insert was an interview with the chairman of the Khayelitsha Development Forum, Mr. Ndetini Tido, who is part of the organization that's helping to develop the land, that plan to develop the land. So we're back in studio now, and Anda was about to tell us about the process. You said people can either go to the office or they can do it online to apply for formal housing.
Yes.
Yes. And so one last thing just before we go is that is the city communicating with the Khayelitsha community at all, and especially with the occupiers?
The City of Cape Town has a policy of public participation, and we have done that extensively.
Okay.
Khayelitsha Communities Trust, that is going to develop that land,
Yes.
is giving regular feedbacks to the community.
Okay.
Khayelitsha Development Forum, we are talking to them almost every week.
Okay.
They are giving feedback to the communities of Khayelitsha. Khayelitsha Development Forum have got a branch in each and every ward of Khayelitsha. Land invasions in Khayelitsha don't have support of all community structures that are registered in our ward database.
Yes.
Don't have support of our councillors,
Yes.
don't have support of Khayelitsha Development. It's just a group of people that come from nowhere and start doing the invasion. So we are encouraging people either to talk to the city or to talk to the Khayelitsha Development.
Yes.
Instead of engaging in any activities that are illegal, because at the end of the day, you'll end up with a criminal record.
Yes.
So the best thing is people become responsible citizens, follow due process when they want houses or they want land. Thank you.
Okay, and so your advice is, as you said, engage. Instead of doing anything illegal, they are the people they should be communicating with regard to frustrations, with regard to questions. That should be the city, and that should be the Khayelitsha Development Forum for specifically this issue and this housing issue within Khayelitsha.
Khayelitsha, yes.
Okay, thank you very much. And are there any last words before we go?
No, the last one that I can say, people, please, let's refrain from any form of illegal activity.
Okay.
Let's go to our community leaders and also let's engage without using violence. We condemn in the strongest terms the loss of 2 lives in this process. We don't want the repeat of this. Let's come around the table and talk about things.
Thank you very much, Anda, for joining us. Sure. We did invite some of the people involved in the land occupation as well, and unfortunately they were not able to join us at such short notice. Now we'll go to a short ad break and we'll be back with more afterwards.